Question number 1. Here two diagrams are given, A and B, that is of germinal layer from the NCERT textbook. In the diagram A, you see two germinal layers. Outer layer is ectoderm and the inner layer is endoderm. Between that, mesoglia is there. And in the diagram B, you see outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm and the inner endoderm. Three germinal layers are there. Here, you have to identify what is A and what is B. Question is, the animals having structures shown in the figures are respectively called as. If animals have two layers, then it is diploblastic. If animals have three germinal layers, then it is called as triploblastic. So the correct answer is option A. Let's move to the question number 2. Here four diagrams are given, that is picked from your NCERT textbook. A, B, C, D, four diagrams. You need to refer these diagrams and identify the option, that is four options, in which shows their correct name. So here diagram A, that is jellyfish, belongs to the phylum Coelenterata. Jellyfish scientific name is here Aurelia. So A diagram is Aurelia. B, sea anemone, that is Adamsia. C, offense and defense structure present in the phylum Coelenterates, that is called as nematocyst. What is the other name of nematocyst? Cnidoblast, present in Coelenterates. The D looks like sea gooseberries, sea walnuts, comb jellies, that is belongs to the phylum Ctenophora, that is Pleurobrachia. So the correct option is B, Aurelia, Adamsia, Cnidoblast and Pleurobrachia. Here three diagrams are given, A, B, C, in our question number 3, and you need to identify A, B, C. Very simple. All these organisms belongs to the phylum Porifera. A diagram is the diagram of Cycon. B, it is the diagram of Euspongia. C, simple, it is Spongilla. So the correct answer is option A, Cycon, Euspongia and Spongilla. It's very easy. This diagram also picked from your NCERT textbook. You can expect this question for your NEET 2022. Question number 4. Here four diagrams are given and it is labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4. Diagram 1 is Aurelia, that is jellyfish. Diagram number 2 is Pila, apple snail. 3, brittle star, scientific name is Ophiura. Fourth one is liver fluke. Yes, okay, Fasciola hepatica. Here the question is, which of the following animals are bilaterally symmetrical? Four animals. The first one is radial symmetry. We know that Aurelia is radial symmetry, coelenterate. Diagram 2 is Pila. So it cannot be radial symmetry. Mollusca, it is bilateral symmetry. Third one is brittle star. The scientific name is Ophiura. That is also exhibit radial symmetry. Fourth one, Fasciola hepatica, that is bilateral symmetry. So it's very simple. 2 and 4, these two diagrams exhibit bilateral symmetry. So Pila and Fasciola hepatica, bilateral symmetry. Option B is correct. Next question. Read the question carefully because this question looks like a trap. Got it? Majority of the students fall into the trap because they don't have the patience to read the questions properly. Got it? Here the question is, select the incorrect feature of mollusca from the given statements. We have already studied everything related to the phylum Mollusca. Even we know the characteristics of the phylum Mollusca organisms. 5 statements. The first one, terrestrial or aquatic animals having cellular level of organization. No, this is incorrect for mollusca because whatever the forms of the mollusca, terrestrial or aquatic, doesn't matter, they have organ system level of organization. Statement 2, radial symmetrical. No, mollusca is 100% bilateral symmetrical. And acoelomate animals. No, they are coelomate animals. And possess 2 germinal layers. No, they possess 3 germinal layers. They are triploblastic animals. So statement 1 and 2 are incorrect. Okay, let us not hurry. We go to the Third statement, a file-like rasping organ called radula is present. Yes, that is the mouth of mollusca. Radula is the mouth of the mollusca. So statement 3 is correct statement. Statement 4, usually dioecious. Yes, mollusca is dioecious. What is the meaning of dioecious? They are unisexual organisms. That is, sexes are separate. And viviparous animals, no, this particular word is wrong for mollusca. They are oviparous, they lay eggs. They are dioecious but oviparous animals. So statement 1, 2, 4 are wrong. 3 is correct. Let us see fifth statement. Examples include Pila octopus dentatum. Yes, absolutely correct for mollusca. So statement 3 and 5 are correct, whereas 1, 2 and 4th statement are wrong. So here we need to pick incorrect statement of mollusca. So answer is C. Next question. Here 6 statements are given that is related to the phylum Porifera. Identify the correct characteristics of the phylum Porifera. First one, commonly known as sea walnuts. No, sea walnuts are nothing but belongs to the phylum Ctenophora. So statement 1 is wrong. Statement 2, presence of ostia and collar cells. Yes, they have minute pores on their body called as ostia, and they have collar cells. That is very important for their digestion process. That will be making the spongiocele, the layer of inside of the sponge. That is correct. 3 exhibit tissue level of characteristics. They exhibit tissue level? No, they exhibit cellular level. 4. It is the largest phylum of animal kingdom. No, Arthropoda is the largest phylum of animal kingdom. The body is supported by spicules and spongin fibers. Yes, that is correct for phylum Porifera. Contains cnidocyst, which is used for defense, anchorage and capturing of prey. No, this property is exhibited by only phylum Coelentrates. So the correct characteristics out of 6 statements for Porifera is 2 and 5. That is second and fifth statement. So we go with option A. That is the correct statement and correct answer for this question. Next question. Here 3 columns are given. Match the animal name that is given in the column 1, that is their scientific name, with its characteristics that is given in the column 2, and the phylum or class that is given in column 3 to which it belongs. Okay, in column 1 you see Ichthyophis. We know Ichthyophis is also called as limbless amphibian. So in the column 2 they are terrestrial. Yes, they normally see under the soil in the moist conditions. Column 3, reptilia. No, the phylum is or class is not reptilia. It is amphibia. So A is wrong. B, limulus. We know it is also called as king crab or living fossil. Belongs to the phylum Arthropoda. Main characteristic of Arthropoda is body covered by chitinous exoskeleton. That is correct. Column 3, Pisces. No, they are not Pisces. They are Arthropoda. C, Adamsia, we know that is called as sea anemone. They are radially symmetrical. Yes, because all jellyfishes, that is Coelentrata, are radially symmetrical. They belongs to phylum Porifera? No, they belongs to the phylum Coelentrata. So C is also wrong. Petromyzon is also called as lamprey, which belongs to the class that is Cyclostomata. They are ectoparasite. They are jawless ectoparasites. So D is correct answer for this question. We'll go to the next question. It's very easy. Match the following type. Column 1, zoological names of some animals are given that belongs to the phylum Coelentrates. You can easily notify that. And column 2 contains their common name. Okay, that's what I stressed in the regular class, that you have to be thorough with its scientific name as well as common name. Okay, column 1, Physalia, simple, Portuguese man of war. Meandriana, brain coral. Gorgonia, it is sea fan. Adamsia, sea anemone. So answer should be option C, A4, B2, C3, D1. See the next, match the following type of question. This question is picked from the phylum Echinodermata. Okay, column 1, Pennatula. It's very simple. C, pen is the answer for it. Antedon is sea lily. Echinus is sea urchin. Cucumeria is sea cucumber. It's very easy because Pennatula pen, sea pen. Cucumeria sea cucumber. Okay, so the option C is correct answer for this question. Next, match the following type of questions. Here in the column 1, some important characteristic feature of a particular phylum is given. You could see choanocytes, cnidoblast, flame cells, nephridia, completes, and you have to match these characteristic feature with the respective phylum. That is given in the column 2. Very easy if you know the main characteristic of the phylum. So A, choanocytes, we know that they are also called as collar cells, belongs to the phylum Porifera. Yes, Porifera exhibit choanocytes. Cnidoblast, these are also called as nematocyst, they belongs to the phylum Coelenterata. Flame cells, it is the excretory cells, it is also called as solenocytes, belongs to the phylum Platyhelminthes. Nephridia, it is the excretory structure of the phylum Annelida. Completes, that is ciliated 8 completes that is present in the phylum Ctenophora. So the answer is option D. Next question, again match the following type. In the column 1 they have given the names of the organisms, okay, which belongs to a specific phylum, and in the column 2 their excretory structures are given. If possible, please note all this stuff because very important. Excretory organs of a particular organism is very important. You could expect these type of questions in the NEET. Okay, column 1, cockroach, that is nothing but Periplaneta americana. Cockroach exhibit malpighian tubules. Then catfish, that is exhibit the kidneys. The catfish belongs to the Pisces class. Kidneys, they have kidneys. Earthworm, that should exhibit nephridia because they belongs to the phylum Annelida. Balanoglossus, hemichordata, we know that proboscis gland does the excretory function. Flatworm, that is nothing but Platyhelminthes, they have solenocytes. The other name of solenocyte, flame cells. So the answer is option D. Should be easy for you. Next question is assertion and reason type. All NEET aspirants must know the options for assertion and reasoning type of questions. It is common to all type of assertion and reason type of questions. Okay. Option A says assertion and reason both are correct and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Option B says assertion is correct and reason is also correct, but reason is not giving correct explanation of assertion. Option C says assertion is correct but reason is wrong. Option D says assertion and reason both are wrong. Here see the assertion. This particular question is picked from the phylum Echinodermata. Assertion: ambulacral system plays major role in locomotion of echinoderm. What is the meaning of ambulacral system? That is nothing but water vascular system. When I was discussing the NEET class, I mentioned this water vascular system, also called as ambulacral system. Please note this, very important. Okay. So ambulacral system, that is water vascular system, is very important for the locomotion in starfish or echinoderm. So assertion is correct. Let us see the reason. Hydraulic pressure of fluid and contraction of muscle of the tube feet make possible movement of echinoderm. Yes, due to ambulacral system, there is a hydraulic pressure which builds within the tube feet. Got it? Because the fluid, the water moves within the radial canal of the starfish or echinoderms, which maintains hydraulic pressure within the tube feet, and with the help of the muscle and hydraulic pressure locomotion is possible in echinoderm. So assertion is correct, reason is correct. At the same time, reason gives the correct explanation of assertion. So option A is correct for this type of question. Next question, this is picked from the phylum Coelenterata. We have already studied the salient features of the phylum Coelenterata, that is jellyfishes. Statement 1, they are aquatic, mostly marine, sessile or free swimming radial symmetrical animals. Yes, whatever mentioned here, that should be exhibited by the phylum Coelenterata. That is correct. They have central gastrovascular cavity. So it is a blind sac digestive system with a single opening called hypostome. Yes, that is correct. Digestion is extracellular or intracellular. That is also correct. Examples are Sycon, Spongilla, Euspongia. Yes. So here all four statements regarding the phylum Coelenterata are correct. So we go with the option D, that is all of these. Next question, that is of similar type. You need to identify the correct statement regarding the phylum Aschelminthes, that is roundworms. Statement 1, the body is circular in cross section, hence the name roundworms. Yes. Alimentary canal is complete with a well developed muscular pharynx. That is also correct for Aschelminthes. Sexes are separate, dioecious. Correct. That is, males and females are distinct. You can easily differentiate male and female in Ascaris. Males are normally shorter, females are longer. Males have a bent curve like structure in their anus. Okay, females doesn't. So that is also correct. Nephridia help in osmoregulation and excretion. No, nephridia is the special character, that is excretory organ present only in the phylum Annelida. So the correct statements are 1, 2, 3. So option C is correct for Aschelminthes. Here 4 statements are given. That is our next question. Which of the following characteristics is correct for Reptilia? Okay, let us see. Option A, body covered with dry and cornified skin. Scales over the body are epidermal. They do not have external ears. Correct. So this is the correct answer for the class Reptilia, because they have cornified skin. What do you call for the cornified skin? Scutes. Okay, so we keep that option A. We go to the option B. Body is covered with moist skin and is of devoid of scales, and the ear is represented by a tympanum, alimentary canal, urinary and reproductive tracts open into a common cloaca. This character belongs to the class Amphibia. So option B is wrong for this question. Freshwater animals with bony endoskeleton and air bladder regulate buoyancy. So this character belongs to the class Piscis, particularly Osteichthyes, that is bony fishes. Option D, marine animals with cartilaginous endoskeleton and body is covered with placard scales. This also belongs to the class Piscis, particularly cartilaginous fishes, that is Chondrichthyes. So B, C, D options are wrong for this question. So we go with option A, that is correct for Reptilia class. Let us see the next question. Here also same. You need to identify the incorrect statements out of 4 options or 4 statements. Prawn has 2 pairs of antennae. Yes, that is correct for prawns because it belongs to the phylum Arthropoda. Nematocysts are characteristic feature of the phylum Cnidaria. Yes, Coelenterata character. Millipedes have 2 pairs of appendages in each segment of the body. Yes, that is also correct for millipedes. Animals that belong to the phylum Porifera are exclusively marine. No, whereas the Spongilla, which is a freshwater sponge, so it is incorrect for the phylum Porifera. In Porifera, you see marine water as well as fresh water. So the incorrect statement for this question is option D. Next question from the class Aves, that is birds. You need to pick the correct statement. Statement 1. The forelimbs are modified into wings and the hind limbs generally have scales and are modified for walking, swimming or clasping the tree branches. That is correct for Aves. Heart is completely 4-chambered. Yes. They are warm-blooded. Yes, homeothermous animals. That is, they are able to maintain a constant body temperature. That is also correct for Aves. They are oviparous 100% and development is direct. Yes. So all the 4 statements are correct for the class Aves. So we will go with the option D, that is correct for this question. Next, here we have 2 questions. In that first one, which of the following statements, that is 1 to 5 statements, are incorrect? Okay, we'll pick the incorrect statement. First one, parapodia are lateral appendages in arthropods used for swimming. No, in annelid you see parapodia, that is for swimming. So the first one is wrong. Radula in mollusk are structures involved in excretion. No, in mollusca excretion is done by mantle cavity. So radula is rasping or mouth in mollusca. Next, Aschelminthus are dioecious. Yes, their sexes are separate in Aschelminthus. 4. Echinoderm adults show radial symmetry. Yes, but larvae show bilateral symmetry. That is also correct. Ctenophorans are diploblastic. Yes, they have only two germ layers, ectoderm and endoderm. In the middle, mesoglea. So here, option A is correct. 1 and 2 are incorrect statement. Next question. Which of the following statement 1 to 5 are incorrect? Similar type. Circulatory system in arthropoda is of closed type. No, it is of open type. Okay, first one is wrong. Parapodia in annelids help in swimming. Yes. Phylum Mollusca is the second largest animal. Phylum. Yes. Aschelminthus are dioecious. Yes. So option A is correct. That is statement 1 is incorrect for arthropoda. They exhibit open type of circulation. Here we have 5 questions, very simple fact based questions. You get such type of questions in the NEET and it will be very easy for you. First one, which of the following pairs of animals comprises jawless fishes? Mackerels and rohu? No, they have jaw. Lampreys and hagfishes? Yes, they are jawless fishes. Guppies and hagfishes? Guppies, they have jaws. Lampreys and eels? Eels have jaws. So option B is correct, they are jawless fishes. That means cyclostomata, their class. In amphibians, respiration occurs through gills, yes, lungs, yes, skin, yes, all of this. So we go with D. Next question. In amphibians, heart is dash chambered, three chambered heart. Easy? Okay. So two auricles and one ventricle in amphibians. Next question. Heart is three chambered in reptiles except turtle, chameleon, naja, crocodile. First three A, B, C, they have three chambered heart, but crocodile has four chambered heart. So option D is correct. Last question. Which of the following is a poisonous snake? Naja, Bangorus, viper, all of this. Yes, it is clearly mentioned in your NCERT, so you could expect this question for your NEET. So answer is all of this. All three are highly and deadly dangerous snakes. We go to the next questions. Here these questions are a bit tricky, kind of like higher order thinking questions. Okay, so you have to be a bit careful. I suggest you have to be thorough with all the concepts. Got it? Which of the following characters is absent in all chordates? Absent in all chordates. Diaphragm, coelom, pharyngeal gills, clefts, dorsal nerve cord. Here B, C, D characters are present in all chordates, but diaphragm is seen only in mammal, class mammal, particularly in higher mammals like human beings, elephant. Diaphragm is the cartilaginous structure which separates thorax from abdomen. So diaphragm is not seen in all chordates like reptiles, no diaphragm, aves, no diaphragm, species, no diaphragm, amphibians, no diaphragm, cyclostomata, no diaphragm, but mammals, they have diaphragm. So we'll go with option A. Which of the following features in birds indicate their reptilian ancestry? This question is how exactly birds related to reptiles. Okay, that means have you heard about Archaeopteryx? It is the reptilia that is the connecting link between reptiles to aves. Okay, so let us see that. Eggs with a calcareous shell, even reptilia also have calcareous shelled egg, and even aves also. Even you see in the mammals also. So we cannot go with option A. Scales on their hind limbs? No. If you take reptiles, they have scales on their body. In aves, only in their hind limbs, but still it cannot be a character to tell that birds are from reptiles. Okay. Four chambered heart? Yes. See, reptiles have three chambered heart. But there is one exception, that is crocodiles. Crocodiles have four chambered heart. That means these four chambered heart next continue to the next class of organisms, that is birds. Birds also have four chambered heart. So we have to go with option C. Two special chambered crop and gizzard in their digestive tract. No, in reptiles you don't see crop and gizzard, only in aves. So we have to go with option C. Yes. Which of the following characteristic is probably most responsible for the great diversification of insects on land? Why insect can survive on land? Segmentation? No. Antennae? No. Bilateral symmetry? No. Exoskeleton? Yes. This character helps them to survive on land, and you could see the diverse nature of arthropoda. Which of the following is a connecting link between invertebrates and non-invertebrates? It's very simple. You know that. We simply go with the answer. Hemichordata, that is Balanoglossus, is given here. So option B is correct for this. Here you see 3 questions. The questions could be very tricky. I suggest before you answer the questions, you have to read the questions twice. Okay, see the question. A common characteristic of all vertebrates without exception is. What is the meaning of this question? All vertebrates, how many organisms are there? So many organisms are there. You take fishes, you take reptilia, amphibians, even mammals, aves, everything belongs to vertebrates. Okay, all these animals must exhibit one particular character that should be seen in all organism, but you will not see them. There will be some exception, but there is one character which is present in all organism. That is the thing you need to identify here. Option A, the division of body into head, neck, trunk and tail. In higher animals like amphibia, you see head and trunk. Okay, in reptilia, head and trunk and tail is there. So it is not a correct option. You take fishes, you don't see neck. Correct? So the option A is wrong for this question. Body covered with exoskeleton? No. Majority of the vertebrates have endoskeleton, but exception again cartilaginous fishes. Got it? They have cartilaginous exoskeleton outside. Yes. The possession of 2 pairs of functional appendages. Yes, majority of the vertebrates have total of 4 appendages, forelimbs and hind limbs. But what about the whale or fishes? Do they have 2 pairs of functional appendages? No, they have fins. So that is also wrong. The presence of well-developed skull. Yes, you take cartilaginous fishes till the mammalia. All have well-developed skull. So we can call ourselves as craniates. Got it? Craniates means well-developed skull is present in all the vertebrates. So we have to go with option D. Next, the organisms attached to the substratum generally possess. What is the meaning of substratum? It could be the benthic region of the sea, that is the base of the sea, or it could be a rock, that is substratum. Normally, if the animal is attached to substratum, what kind of character they possess? That is the question. One single opening to the digestive canal? No. Even in some free living stages of any type of animal, they also exhibit single opening. Got it? Okay, so we cannot go with option A. Cilia on the surface to create water current. That is also wrong actually. Radial symmetry, almost yes. You take starfishes. Where do you see starfishes? On the benthic region of the sea, that is on the substratum. Or maybe like some take the hydra, they are actually attached to the substratum. They also exhibit radial symmetry. So we have to go with option C. Not exactly correct, but fine, we can go with option C. D, asymmetrical body, no. So we'll go with option C. Okay. Next question. Which of the following statements is without exception in sponges? I think you know the question now. This answer, they all have calcareous spicules. There are exceptions that some sponges doesn't have calcareous spicules. Okay. They have high regenerative power. Very simple, you take any sponge and cut it. Okay, they have the ability to develop the lost part. So all the sponges exhibit this character, high regenerative power. I did not explain it, but please write this point. Okay, it is common in all sponges. They are found only in marine water. No, freshwater sponges also there. They are radially symmetrical. No, they are commonly bilateral symmetrical or asymmetrical. Majority asymmetrical. Some are like bilateral or radial symmetrical. Okay, so we will go with option B, that is present in all sponges. They have high regenerative power. Got it?